Rashi, the Torah portion, Vezos Habracha, the last Torah portion. And we are in the second reading. Moshe Rabbeinu is giving out blessings on the last day of his life. And we are up to Levi. Ole Levi Amar. And to Levi he said, Tumecha v'urecha. The Urim v'Tumim. We'll see what Rashi, the Urim v'Tumim generally is a term that's used for the breastplate that the high priest, the Kohen Gadol, would wear. Right, that was one of the pieces of clothing, if you will. But we'll see what Rashi explains. So Urim v'Tumim, we'll call it that right now. Liish chasidecha, they are to this kind individual, a kind person, pious, translates over here. Asher nisise b'maseh teriveu amei meriva. You were tested by masa, teriveu, and on the waters of Meriva, waters of strife, you were tried out there too. Let's see what this means. Much of this is, hinting to things. So verse number 7, Rashi, verse 8, Levi Amar, Ba'al Levi Amar. Concerning Levi, he said, this is speaking about the divine presence, right? Okay, the divine presence. That you were tested a masa shalonis that you didn't complain im shar melinim with the rest of the complainers, right? You weren't complaining. Others were complained for water. Tirivehu, you were also challenged. It should be understood Targum according to Onkelus's understanding, which the waters of strife, and you were faithful, right? That's how he explains. Thank you. One explanation. Rashi then says, alternatively to Reveo Me Meriva, that you whom you challenged at the waters of Meriva, means nistapakta loy lovay ba'alila. You libeled him to come against him with a false charge. If Moshe said, Shimona Hamerim, listen now, rebels, Aaron and Miriam, Ma'asu, what did they do? Aaron and Miriam. Okay, so here it's the opposite. It's saying, Mei Meriva, if you remember, is where with the stone that Moshe hit, instead of speaking to it, so he, Aaron, and Miriam were not allowed to go into the land of Israel. So this explanation is then saying that you didn't, and they're from the tribe of Levi. So, in other words, they're taking the tribe is taking responsibility for the sin that was committed. It shows a high standard of of responsibility that God is, or Moshe is putting on the tribe. That's what it means. Uh-huh. In other words, Moshe is the one who hit the rock. So why are they responsible for this too? Because that's the high standard of responsibility that comes to the tribe of Levi. Interesting. Interesting idea. Okay. Verse number 9. Omer la'aviv, who said to his father, Velimai, and to his mother, Loi re'isi, I did not see him. Ves echav loi hikir, neither did he recognize his brothers. As banav lo yada, and his children he did not know. Ki shamru imrasecha, for they observed your word. V'brischa yinzeru, and they kept the covenant. Oh, this is also very, cryptic. Let's see. Take a moment. Let's see. Any reason you need that open, Frank? You don't need it. I didn't open it. Okay, you don't need it, right? Okay, fine. Got it. Right. Because okay. Let's see Rashi. Yeah, we're 9. He's the one who said to his father and mother, I did not see him. When when the Jewish people sinned with the golden calf, and I said, Moshe is right. Moshe is speaking, right? Mila Hashem Eli, whoever is unto God, come to me. Be on my side. And that's what I call B'nai Levi. What happened? The entire tribe of Levi gathered onto me. And I commanded them that they had to kill the father of one's mother. Right. It can't be his father he killed, because it says he didn't recognize. I didn't see him. In other, what happened was those that worshipped the idolatry, they were punished with death. And the tribe of Levi was the one responsible. So it can't be that it was responsible for his father's death, because his father's a Levite. So his father was part of being, they weren't part of sinning with the golden calf. So what does it mean, his father? He didn't recognize. It means his mother's father, because his mother's father is not from the tribe of Levi necessarily, right? No, because the tribe is according to the father, not according to the mother, right? So if there was a death sentence, it would have been not to the father, but to a mother's father. And he was an Israelite, non-Levite. Or yes, or his brothers from his mother who are non-Levites. Or Ben Bitai, or the son of his daughter, who is also not a Levite because she married a non-Levite, assuming that they did, of course. Right. So and so they did. Right. So this is what the verse, when it says, who said of his father and mother, I did not see him. Right. Neither did he recognize his brothers. Well, who's his brothers he didn't recognize? I mean, brothers from the mother's side, because they're not Levites. Nor did he know his children, meaning grandchildren. Brothers were half brothers? Yeah, it would be half brothers, exactly. So continues Rashi. Mamish, and it's impossible to explain father literally. right? Because here it's used as grandfather, not father. The Echav me Aviv, and his brothers is meaning a paternal brothers. Chaim Banav Mamish, and literally his sons, literally. Can't mean that. Because they were all Levites. From the Shevet Levi and from the tribe of Levi, not a single Levite sinned. Not a single Levite sinned. So it can't mean, right? Shenam I've called B'nai Levi, as the verse says. Next Rashi, V'shamru kishamru sechab, for they kept your statement, your word. Lo yeh l'cha elikim acherim. What was that word? 10 Commandments. The second commandment: there shall be no other gods before you. The covenant they preserved. This refers to the covenant of circumcision for those who were born in the desert. The Israelites did not circumcise their sons, but the Levites would circumcise their sons. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Number 10. They should teach your ordinances Yaakov to Jacob, meaning to the Jewish people, right? And your Torah to Israel. No, this is a bless. Remember, this is Moshe on his last day of life. He is now blessing the tribes of Israel, and he's blessing them that this is what their duty will be. Okay? And they will place incense before you, and a burnt offering on your altar. They are worthy because of everything that we just said, right? That they were not part of the sin of the golden calf. So they're worthy and circumcised, right? So they're worthy to be the teachers of Israel, right? Cholil oila, that means a burnt offering, because the word cholil means consumed. So it means, right, because from the tribe of Levi come the Kohanim and come the Levites. 11. Beirach Hashem chelai. May Hashem bless his chelai, his army. Ufal yadav tirza. And he should Fal yada means the effort, the works of your hands. Tirza, he should desire. Machatz masnayim. Machatz, he strikes the loins. Masnayim are loins. Come of, and for those who rise up against him, only sign of min yikamun, and his enemies. Sign of his enemies min yikamun. That they will not get up, they will not recover. Here's books. Okay, Rashi in 11. Machas Masayim Kamav, strike down his opponents to the loins. Machatz Kamav, strike down his foes. Makas Masayim, a blow to the loins. Shenemar, as it says, Kinyan Shenemar, Masayim Tamid, Hamad, that you will always topple their loins. Al Hama'irim is Al Lakuna, Amakin. This is Moshe. He's speaking with regard to those who raise objections to the Kohuna, the priesthood, that it belongs to Aaron of the tribe of Levi. In other words, that they will be stricken down because of their objecting. Okay. Davar Acher, alternative explanation. Ra Moshe saw, what did he see? That the Chashmonaim and his sons would be waging a war against the Greeks. Right? This is in the story of Hanukkah. So he prayed for them. Because they were very few, the Chashmonaim. 12 sons of the Chashmonai and Elazar. Kenege kama rivavos, against many tens of thousands. Kach nemar, yes, this is what it says. Berach Hashem chelo ufal yadav tirtze. Hashem bless his army and favor the work of his hands. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Misan of mi yikamun. So that was an alternative explanation, right? And his enemies, that they don't rise up. Machatz kama misanab. He smashed his foes and his enemies. Miyoslahem tikuma, that they will not be able to rise. Very apropos. October 7th today. What do we have to do? We have to hit the enemy to such a way that they're unable to rise again. Wow. That's a important lesson for today.
They didn't kill him. Kill him.
What do you mean? Struck. No, it means killing. That they don't get. If the killing is what's necessary so that they don't get up again, then that's what it means, right? Okay. Last pasuk, number 12. So that was Levi. Now we go to Benjamin. Lebenyamin Amar, to Benjamin he said, right, in reference to Benjamin, what did he say? Yedid Hashem, a beloved of God, Yishkoin, Lavetach, he will dwell securely, Olav, upon him. Now there's God will dwell securely upon him. Chayfef Olav, he will protect upon him, he will sort of like be over him, like hovering over him, kolayam, the whole day, ubenk seifav shachin, and he will dwell between his shoulders. The God will dwell between his shoulders. Okay, lots of metaphor here. Let's see Rashi, number 12. The Binyamin Amar, to Binyamin he said, the Fisha Birchas Levi Vezos HaKarbonos. So Rashi's explaining why is Binyamin, who's the youngest, coming now, right? Why is he missing? We're going in order. We started with Ruvain. And no, please. Shimon is second. Maybe he was not mentioned Shimon, and Rashi explained yesterday. And then Levi, or Yehuda, sorry. We had Yehuda, and then Levi. So Binyamin is not next. So why is he next? So Rashi says, because we mentioned Levi about sacrificial service, that he was, that anybody who wants to protest against Levi and what their job is in the Beis Hamikdash, right? That they have special duty, they will be knocked down. That was the one explanation, if you recall. So since that was mentioned, Binyamin, the blessing of Binyamin is Binyamin Beis Hamikdash Bechel, okay? That the construction of the Holy Temple is in his portion. That's why Moshe put them juxtaposed one to the other. And then he put Yosef after him, right? In other words, Yosef should come before Binyamin. But he didn't. Shafu, for he too has a special relation for the sacrificial service. Mishkan Shiloh Hayab. Okay, because the tabernacle of Shiloh, the sanctuary of Shiloh, which was for 369 years when they first came into the land of Israel, it was in his portion. Shenemar, as it says, Yosef, rejecting the tent of Yosef, because the eternal home of God, which is in Jerusalem, was more precious than that which was in Shiloh in the portion of Yosef. That's why Binyamin comes before Yosef, right? Because the final holy temple in Jerusalem was more endearing to Hashem than the tabernacle, the sanctuary that was in Shiloh for the first 369 years that the Jewish people dwelled in the land of Israel, right? Chayfe Falav. So he's hovering over him. Mechasais, it means he covers him. Omegin alav, and it shields him. Kol hayom literally means all the day. What does it mean? Le'aylam, forever. Nivchar Yerushalayim, because once Jerusalem is chosen, the divine presence did not rest in another place. Before that, it rested in the desert 40 years, in Shiloh 369 years, in Goiv and Divine 54 years, and then finally in Jerusalem. And then Jerusalem, once it's there, right, it's the whole day, meaning for eternity. That's what it means, those words. Okay? He was. He did rest in those places, but not kol hayom, not the whole day, not for eternity. Okay? It's not between the lines. You just have to read it what it's saying. That's what it said. Okay? Then Seifav Shachain, he rests, God rests between his shoulders. What does that mean, between his shoulders? The Goiva Artzeit, the high point of Binyamin's land, Haya Beis Hamikdash Boni, the Beis Hamikdash was built. That was on top of a mountain, right? That's the high point. But it's not literally the high point, right? Because it's the shoulders. The shoulders, there's something higher than the shoulders, the head, right? Where does the Beis Hamikdash dwell? Metaphorically, on the shoulders of the person, right? Which is a bit lower than the highest point. So he explains, because it was 23 amas lower main etim from ein etim. And this is initially David thought that it should be built on the highest point. That's where he wanted to build it, on ein etim. As is explained, Imre, and they said, and in the end, it wasn't built there, right? God told him, no, I want you to build it on not the highest point, but a little lower than the highest point on the mountain. Nachte be porta, and as the saying goes, let us go a bit lower with it. In other words, the Beis Hamikdash should be built a bit lower than ein etim. As it says, being safe shachin, the God, he rests between the shoulders, right? And the shoulders is lower than the highest point. So why wouldn't you want the highest point? Because you have nothing more nicer than the shoulders of the ox, right? Shoulder steak, a shoulder roast, right? Nothing better than that. Okay, this is all metaphoric, which we're not going to go into now, because I don't. All right, folks. We'll see you shortly.